Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roman Shersher. I'm your number one resource for buying property online, and just giving you my weekly update. A lot going on today. So first and foremost, property we bought for a client out here in the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles. One of the issues with this property was that you had a lot of wetness in the foundation. It was a raised foundation. And in the foundation area, it got really moist during rains and it wasn't fully ventilating. And so the solution, when we sent in a foundation expert, what we had to do, obviously, during the inspection period, when we were buying the property, we sent in a general inspector. General inspector called out moisture in the foundation. That is a red flag that makes you want to next call out someone to pinpoint the specific areas in the house where the general inspection calls out. So for example, you get a general inspector to do an inspection of the whole house. They literally check every plug, they turn on every water faucet, they look at everything within the house, and then they point out the things that you want to further inspect. So they called out moisture in the subfloor, moisture in the foundation, that is. And so we got a foundation expert to come in and actually take a look at the foundation. The way that this house was structured, there wasn't enough ventilation going through the property. And so you had a couple of solutions, the least costly of which was to install fans under the house in the foundation crawl space. And so fans were turned on, put in. In our final inspection, they did a thorough review of all of the items that were done, all of the repairs that were in the request for repairs that we made. All of those were done and completed. The final inspection to ensure that this was done and working showed the fans were working just fine. It's a big house. There were something like 6 fans, 8 fans potentially in the foundation area. Now, a month later, my client calls me and says, "Hey, Roman, we have a problem. These fans are working all the time. They're not shutting down like they're supposed to. These fans are supposed to only work when they sense humidity. And it hasn't been very humid here. There haven't been rains, and these fans are working all the time." So I had to go and find out, go back to the agent, go back to the seller, find out who installed these fans. We provided them with an inspection and an estimate from our individual foundation specialist. I was initially told that they were going to use our guys to do all of the repairs. Come to find out later when reaching out that no, they didn't use our foundation guy. And now it's a chase to go find who this gentleman is that installed these fans. We finally got the appointment scheduled today. My client was out there and met the people that were fixing the fans. There's a sensitivity lever that can be susceptible to the moisture in the air. Long story short, they went out there, they fixed the sensitivity. Now it's not working all the time. It's only supposed to work when it senses moisture in the foundation. Long story short, when you have repairs that are done, go back to the listing agent, go back to the seller, and verify that they are giving you all the information about who did those repairs and whoever is, most importantly, warranting the work. Because the repairs that they're saying that they completed, they should have carry with them some kind of a warranty of at least a year, 6 months, whatever the case is. You want to find out what that warranty is, and you want to know who to call in the event that those repairs break down or aren't working properly, or let's say that they patched a wall. If it starts cracking within a matter of a couple of months, they didn't do it right. And so you want to know who to go back to. And it becomes very difficult if you find out after the fact. I was told incorrectly that it was our foundation specialist who had done the work. And then end up finding out that wasn't the case. So make sure that you're finding out who does your repairs. Get a warranty, get some kind of an invoice or something from the seller for the repairs that you got when you bought the house. Okay. Next thing, we have a property in Arizona that we're making an offer on. One of the techniques and tricks that I always teach is that you don't have to, but it's smart to send a contractor in when you're looking at a property. This is a very hot market that we're in right now, and we operate in multiple markets: Southern California, Phoenix. We operate in Jacksonville, Florida. It's one of our largest market, actually, is Jacksonville, Florida. And in those markets, if you're looking at good fixer properties or properties that you can add value and therefore create equity in these properties, there is competition out there on all of these properties. One way that you can beat out the competition that I teach in my program is that you have one chance potentially to make an offer and win that property. Sellers love it when you can move fast. One of the competitive advantages you have is to move quickly, whether it be to close quickly or make an offer quickly, go into escrow quickly. Anytime you can speed up the process, that is a competitive advantage, a benefit that you have as the buyer. And so we went in there with our contractor already. We were able to estimate very closely. We've gotten pretty good at this. When we walk into a property, we can see signs of issues. And if we don't see those signs of issues, we can get really close to the repair estimate that it's going to take to fix up that property, so we can know whether we can fit it within the numbers. Okay, we sent in our contractor. We then get notified that the seller, and actually we're buying this from a wholesaler, someone that has put this under contract, deciding whether they want to buy it, hold it, rent it, whatever they're going to do. And of course, they go and see if anyone else is interested in taking it off their hands. We get notification that the wholesaler is interested in actually holding on to this one and using it and buying it as a rental. So the solution here is this: we're going to make an offer to him, and if our offer is good, closes quickly, puts a little money in their pocket, they may be willing to allow us to buy it in their place. The main thing is this: if we had not gone there with our contractor, we probably would not have understood what the full scope of work on this property is, what the repair estimate is going to be. Because we went in there with our contractor, number one, we are showing the seller that we're very serious about purchasing this. We can close quickly. We understand our numbers. We're not going to go ahead and lock this up, go into inspection periods, and then do all these inspections, trying to find out our numbers, and then dwindle them down, potentially ask for repair requests, potentially ask for credits. We already pretty much know what we need to buy it at right now. We didn't really see any major signs of issues that we needed to further inspect, like you would a general inspection that called out a foundation repair. And so we're pretty sure we know our numbers. We're going to submit an offer today, and we'll see, hopefully, that a wholesaler will choose to sell it to us, put some money in their pocket quickly, as opposed to holding it onto it as a rental. It looks like a pretty good opportunity here in Phoenix. The last thing I wanted to talk about was an issue we experienced. One of my clients is selling their property. This is the second time they were in escrow, second time they've fallen out of escrow. They received a pre-approval. Now, I mention always that a pre-approval is much stronger than a pre-qualification. The difference is pre-qual, literally a mortgage broker can look over a credit report or a bank statement and put together that document in 5 minutes. A pre-approval actually requires them to review all of your paperwork, review your taxes, take a look at your credit scores, take a look at your balances, take a look at your bank statements. Some mortgage brokers do a more thorough job than others. In this situation, a full pre-approval was provided to the agent that we work with. Full pre-approval was provided. The agent called the broker. The broker assured them that everything's great. This is a highly qualified buyer. Nothing will go wrong with this. Sure enough, they lowered their loan contingency and loan period to 10 days. And sure enough, on the 10th day, they called and said they didn't qualify for the loan. Now, it seems like it's, no big deal, it's 10 days. But you know what? Days on market count, and they lower the view of a buyer of the property. And so if you have a property that's been on the market for 60 days, buyers think, number one, they can make reduced offers. And number two, they think that there's something wrong with that property. Why is it sitting on the market for so long when the market is so hot right now? And so that kind of makes sense. Twice they've fallen out. My tip always is have a mortgage broker that you work with, have the new buyer cross-qualify with your mortgage broker in addition to their existing lender. You're not forcing them and you're not steering them to your mortgage lender in order to get the house. What you're saying is, I want to be sure that what your mortgage broker is seeing, we're seeing as well. You're not going to have an issue qualifying. This was a problem, and we lost a lot of days on market with this property. Okay, I'll always end these with a quote of the day. The quote of the day today, I asked Alexa, okay, my Amazon Alexa, to play me some uplifting work music, and the response I got back was as such. Alexa told me I couldn't find any uplifting work music. Yeah, uplifting work music, huh? When you're at work, and if it's just a job, it's hard to stay always uplifted. Even Alexa can't do that. You guys have a great time. Remember, this is Roman Shersher, your #1 resource for buyer information, how to buy properties online.